What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Hope you all had a great weekend. Getting into this episode, GH. Listen, Drew's enemy list continues to stack up. Like the enemies he's creating, it is rising by the day. Like seriously, that man gonna get taken out. Like sooner rather than later, he gonna get taken out because the good people of Port Charles, criminals, cops, law enforcement, both sides, good and bad sides, are getting tired of him. And that's how you know you ain't shit. When you got criminals, people that's on the wrong side of the law, and people that's on the right side of the law can't stand your ass, that's not good. That is not good. Like, everybody is gunning for him at this point. Dude is done for. Like, he's just creating this enemy list that is just growing by the second. Martin is now officially on that list because Martin was putting two and two together. When those agents came to talk to Stella and Martin wanted to represent her, they told Martin, no, you cannot represent her because you are a person of interest in our investigation. So we got questions for you too. And Martin asked Stella, he was like, you ever been under this kind of scrutiny before? She was like, no. So that right there told him, I know why this is happening. I know who's doing this. Drew. He know why. Even Curtis was suspicious as well when the agents would not tell Portia exactly what's going on, because she was like, there's been no insurance fraud claims or investigations in the hospital. There's been no complaints about that. She had no idea about it. You know what I mean? And they won't even tell her everything that's going on with a member of her own staff. You know, how you not going to tell her what's going on? All they want to tell her is that they answer to somebody higher up. That told Curtis was putting the pieces together too. That told him something too. Like, yeah, Drew behind this. They know it. They know it. It's not that hard to figure out. All of this is coming out now. Come on. Knowing Drew, they know he behind this mess. They know it. Portia was definitely annoyed when she was up in the bed with Curtis and Jordan called her phone. She was surprised at first that Jordan was calling her. But when Jordan was like, oh, I tried to call Curtis, but his phone was off, she got annoyed very quickly. I'm like, ma'am, what do you want her to do? If she can't get a hold of your husband, she got to call you. You know what I mean? And it's like, at the end of the day, if it was for something nefarious, why would she call you? She would just send him a voicemail or something like that. She wouldn't have called you if it was something else. You know what I mean? Obviously, if she's calling you to get to him, it must be important. I know that you get annoyed because you can't stand Jordan, and they still got some feelings. But knowing Portia, she gonna try to put it off on Jordan. Like, Jordan's the one with the feelings towards her husband. I'm like, no, ma'am, it works both ways. They both got feelings for each other. And I just wish that Curtis would be honest with Portia about that, since he's big on honesty. Tell your wife that you still jonesing for your ex. Like, even though I know he probably won't, because that's going to mess up their marriage even further when they're trying to get it back on track. But you can't continue a marriage like this when you still got feelings for an ex. Like, and you know that it's unresolved. Like I said, people are always going to have feelings for an ex. Some type of feelings. But they usually know how to move on with their lives, and leave that back there. But for Curtis, he's not leaving Jordan in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been honest to other people, namely his father and stuff, about how he feel about Jordan and how he thought about giving her another shot, giving their relationship another shot if things didn't work out between him and Portia. So he needs to be honest with his wife, since he's big on honesty. You know what I'm saying? Tell that lady the truth. You expect her to tell you the truth all the time. Be honest with her about how you really feel. He's obviously in love with both of them. He got feelings for both, but it doesn't work like that when you're in a marriage. He's going to have to make a choice at some point, He's going to have to leave Jordan in the past, at least romantically. He got to figure that out, and quickly, because that whole situation is getting messy. It's getting messy by the day, especially with Isaiah, moving around, trying to snitch. So Curtis better do something and do it quickly. So anyway, moving on from that. I am so freaking glad that the ADA was around the corner listening to everything Drew said, because Sonny was getting pissed. Especially when he found out how Drew approached Wiley and basically orchestrated that whole thing. He was pissed. Like Sonny was ready to bust him upside his head right there. I'm surprised he kept his composure. And I know why. Because for one, he had Donna there, and two, he had the ADA there. So I get it. But I know that was hard for Sonny to do. Because I know he wanted to knock, put some knuckle knocks on his head. I know it. And Drew really think he bad. Talking about some, oh, well, Michael won't go to prison if he gives Willow visitation of the kids, and Sonny has to sell the Pierce to Sidwell, and Sonny has to leave town. Sonny was like, listen, Michael not going to get that girl no visitation, so that's out. That's not going to happen. I love how Sonny wasn't backing down. Like, he was not giving in to none of those demands at all. And my thing is simply this. Who does Drew think he's dealing with? Like, you sitting here making demands on people who got a lot of money, a lot of connections, access to the best attorneys, and you really think a simple assault charge on a congressman is going to put Michael in prison? No, they've walked away from worse charges than this. So I'm sure this is a walk in the park for them. This is way less than they're used to dealing with. But I am glad that ADA Turner heard that, because she was just appalled that the congressman was sitting over here trying to extort somebody. And she couldn't believe it. She was like, oh, this is how he act? Like, she was just surprised. And Sonny was like, yeah, well, you got dinner and you got to see the real Drew King. But the problem for her is, as much as she want to do something about it, she can't, because Sonny had a valid point. If she goes against Drew, it's going to open up a can of worms for her, because now you're going to be under scrutiny, because they're going to want to know, people are going to ask the question, why were you at Sonny Corinthos' home in the first place? She would have to come up with a lie, a plausible one. I don't think anybody would believe it. Even if she came up with a decent lie, nobody's going to believe that. ADA popping up at Sonny's house, it's against protocol. Because if she needed to speak with him, you could have done that in a public area or your office, not his residence. So she would have to ask a whole lot of questions, answer a whole lot of questions she's not going to want to answer. So Sonny had a valid point. But she also had a valid point too. Sonny can't retaliate against Drew, because she was there in the home. So if something happens to Drew, he's going to be suspect number one, because she heard the whole conversation. So that will put him in the suspect list. But I'm pretty sure they're going to find a way to handle him, because that ADA is not backing down from this. But I could also see how soft she's starting to turn towards Sonny. She's starting to see him in a different light now, like most women do. Because a lot of women who are lawyers that come in, they think they got him pegged, like they see this one side of him, or they hear about his reputation and they think they know him, until they see that softer side. Because Sonny got multiple sides to him. You know what I'm saying? He got that nice guy, philanthropist side, very nice, very generous side to him. But then he got that other side to him where he's hostile. He throws barware. He called women whores. He got that other side that you don't want to see. So she's seeing that side right now. You know what I'm saying? Wait till you get, he hasn't thrown barware in a little while too. So I give him credit for that. But it's coming. It's probably gonna make a comeback. But I could definitely see the two of them getting together. No question. So anyway, moving on from that. I get where Maxi is coming from. Like, Maxi wants to weigh her options. Like, she wants to see where her options are. Martin pretty much confirmed to her. He was like, no, the partners, they can't force you out at deception. But, if you go forward with, with this information that you have, you're going to pretty much alienate them professionally and personally. Your friendship with them, your working relationship with them is not going to be the same. It's going to be a mess. So he did warn her. And he also warned her about going public with her information, because I feel like Maxi's not being totally realistic about this. On the one hand, I get where she's coming from. I do. She's looking out for herself too, because all these other people who have interest in deception, they got money. They're wealthy. You know what I'm saying? If deception goes under tomorrow, they're good. You know what I'm saying? They ain't no skin off their back. They got money to fall back on. They got other careers to fall back on, especially Lucy. Like, she got her real estate career to fall back on. That's obviously doing well. Maxi does not have that. Maxi just has deception. Plus, she got her party planning, wedding planning on the side. But the wedding planning is not all that lucrative because, I mean, how many weddings a year do she actually plan? You know what I'm saying? To make it a career, you have to be planning weddings on a regular basis. And I don't see that happening in that town like that. So it ain't all that lucrative. So she needs that deception money. But that's where I feel like she's not realistic, though, because if you go public with this, I don't feel like it would go the way Maxi was hoping it would go. Like, Deception's hands are not going to be clean on this one. For one, they had that information for quite some time. You know what I mean? They've had it. And that's not going to look good on them. Further, Deception has been through so much turmoil since they relaunched that company. Stocks have gone down, sales have gone down, and they just got straight. You know what I'm saying? They just got everything stabilized. If this scandal comes out, they may not recover from this. You know what I mean? They may not. So Maxi has to weigh that. Like, that's a lot. You know, me personally, I feel like she need to fall back off of this. You know what I mean? Just bury it. Make sure it never sees the light of day. So BLQ was talking to Flora or whatever. And, you know, Flora was trying to, you know, bestow some wisdom upon BLQ. Like, at this point, BLQ need to talk to her mother and forgive. You know what I mean? Like, forgive her for what happened. At the end of the day, I'm on that type of time. Like, BLQ is hoping for a miracle that Gio is gonna forgive her, but look at you. You won't forgive your mom. You won't even forgive her. And you the one that got the ball rolling on this because nobody told your little fast ass to get pregnant in, you know, in your teen years. You chose to open your legs. That was your business. You got the ball rolling on this one. Like, she was at an age where she should have known better. She should have knew about the birds and the bees. You know what I mean? Protect yourself. She should have done that. You got the ball rolling on this one. You know, the people in her life, her mother, her grandmother, they was just doing what they had to do to try to protect her. You know, and protect that child. They did what they thought was right. It is what it is. At some point, you just gonna have to chalk that shit up and forgive it, you know? You're gonna have to forgive. You ain't gotta forget, but forgive and move on. So hopefully she listened to what Flora had to say. So anyway, they about to do this damn thing or whatever. Lucy finally shows up because she was at Sidwell's. She is so sweet on that man. If I was Lucy, though, I would have not stood on that parapet. Absolutely not. We done seen what happens when people go out there. Hell no. I wouldn't have been standing out there. My ass would have been firmly planted in that castle. Not outside of it. Not on no damn parapet where people done got pushed and fell. And no. Hell no. That thing is cursed. Like, no. So, you know, Sidwell makes it seem like he might be a little sweet on Lucy. I don't know. I just feel like he playing her. Like, I don't feel like he all that interested in her. Because Sidwell seemed like the type, and not even just Sidwell, but a lot of the men Lucy deal with have some type of an agenda when they're dealing with her. You know, but he did tell Marco that, you know, he felt she was a wonderful woman and stuff. You know, he spoke kindly about her. So I think that, you know, he genuinely liked her, like maybe as a friend, but anything romantic, I don't know. But, you know, he was interested in watching the Deception ad or whatever. And I knew he had a vested interest in it because I knew something was going to happen because why would he don't look like he's the QVC type of person. Like, he would sit there and watch no TV about women's cosmetics. You know, even if he does have an invested interest in it still. Like, he don't seem the type. So Lucy get there. They're about to go over the product or whatever. Maxi got handed a specific face cream or product or whatever. She got handed that. And I thought that was a little suspicious. I'm like, what y'all about to do? Because why give it specifically to her? You know what I'm saying? For her to, you know, like, why not Lucy or somebody or Flora? Here go Lucy starting to talk about the nurse's ball and her glamorous lifestyle that she lived. I'm like, Lucy, cut it out. This is why they don't let you talk. You know what I mean? Like, Maxi had to reel her in and, you know, had to steer that conversation away from that. Because Lucy has a tendency to babble and talk about herself. And that's not what's going to make you sales. Like, that's going to make people turn them TVs off. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're here to make sales. Because Maxi, I think, is one of the perfect people, in my opinion, to talk about that. Because she's, you know, a part of the everyday woman. You know, she's not no millionaire. She ain't no billionaire. She's just a regular woman at work, you know, and get a paycheck, you know. So I think she's one of the perfect people to promote the product. But then she started showing people how to use the product, and this girl done passed out. I said, good God. I knew something was up with that little product that they handed her. I knew it. And this is why Sidwell wanted to watch that TV. Because I had a feeling Sidwell was going to do something to Maxi. Because he was a little uneasy about her willingness to go to the police about, Sonny's money being involved in the company. So I knew he was going to have to shut her up. So I guess this is his way of doing it. Like, homeboy sneaky. Like, to get that product, on there. Like, he be doing a lot of slick stuff. Like, Sidwell ain't no joke. He's slick with it. So I'm wondering if they're going to put her in a coma for a little minute or something. She going to have some big medical emergency. That's probably going to take her out for a couple months. I know it's going to be, sad for her kids to see her like that, though. So anyway, moving on from that. Drew. He goes over to Sidwell's, have a meeting with Sidwell and Marco. He's all giddy and stuff because he think he got a victory over Sonny. He has nothing. And Sidwell, he was interested in hearing it. Like, he was sitting there like, all right, tell me how we gonna neutralize Sonny? What you got? So he's like, oh, Michael punched me, like giving them the whole story. Sidwell just sitting there like, how the hell does this help me? You know what I'm saying? Because if you turn Michael in, one, you lose the leverage. You know what I'm saying? Because now Sonny's going to retaliate. He's not going to do anything, for us. Like, he's not going to sell to peers. He's not going to none of that. Leave town, nothing. Like, you lose that. Then on top of that, this whole thing doesn't sound like a victory for Sidwell. It's more of a victory for Drew and Willow. Because that's all Drew kept talking about was, oh, Willow's going to get her kids. He didn't give a damn about that. Sidwell don't care nothing about that right now. Like, Sidwell was not impressed. And as soon as Drew left, Marco put it out there. He was like, listen, Drew has outlived his usefulness to us. And he has. He's not useful at this point. He's really, really not. With that little shitty ass hollow victory he think he got. And Sidwell, he was on it. He was like, yeah, he not. He was like, soon, Sidwell got a plan for him. Drew gonna get dropped. At some point, one of them gonna take him out. Because even Sidwell is over him at this point. Because once you're no longer of use to somebody like Sidwell, you gonna be gone. Ain't no question. You gonna be gone. So anyway, moving on from that. So Brit and Jason see each other. Of course, Brit got to keep up the cover and stuff. So she went over to Pascal, letting him know, like, listen, I ain't going my ass back in that lab until y'all fix that AC. She go back to her room looking like she all stunned and shocked. I'm trying to figure out, is she surprised that Jason's there? Or is she surprised he's alive? Because if she's surprised he's alive, I'm going to get irritated. Because she's kept up with all of the happenings in Port Charles. So there's no way she would not know Jason was alive. I'm going to go out on a limb here and just guess she's surprised that he's there. That's what I'm guessing. Also, it's nighttime there. And it's also nighttime in Port Charles. That's impossible. Because where are they at? Croatia? There's no way in the world it would be nighttime in Croatia and nighttime in Port Charles at the same time. There's no way. Because it's literally like where I am right now. I'm legit in, not far from New York. Like, I'm like an hour, 2 hours away from New York, right? So even where I am right now is still daylight. It's still sun up. It's literally midnight in Croatia right now. So there's no way in the world. I was like, yo, if y'all don't fix that, yeah, they need to go on and fix that. Fix it now. But yeah, I'm interested. I can't wait to see Jason and Brit scene, because I want to see what she has to say, like how she escaped, Heather's hook killing. Like, who helped her, how she managed to survive it. I can't wait to hear that explanation. Jocelyn. I still don't buy her as a WSB agent. I don't. Like, her sitting there, her scenes today, I did not care for it. I don't know what this thing is with her and Vaughn. I don't care for it. They need to do something else with Jocelyn, because a lot of the stuff they have her doing, and it's not the actress to me, it's not her fault, I'm not blaming her, but it's just this character and the writing for it. I just don't agree with a lot of it. I'm just not interested. and a lot of stuff that they have Jocelyn doing. It doesn't pique my interest. This WSB story they got her in does not pique my interest because it's just not believable to me. Like I just can't muster up the interest for this like at all. Her love life, I'm bored by it all the time. Her and Vaughn, don't care for them at all. Like I really don't. But Vaughn was talking some sense because he was like, listen, this mission is over. We compromised because they are. It's just too much going on out there. Now y'all got to dump the body. Y'all got to figure out how to maneuver. Y'all cover is blown. So I'm glad he tried to get in touch with Brendan or whatever. Brendan need to go ahead and send for them to come back home. You need to abort that mission because they failed miserably. Failed. Like it's just too many people there, and Jocelyn's still trying to save this mission by saying, "Oh, well, I could talk to Brit. She'll talk to me." How you figure that? How you figure Brit is gonna be honest with you about anything? She might give you a slither of honesty, but you're not gonna get the full honesty out of her. Hell no. Like Jocelyn is tripping. I mean, it's a shot in the dark. I mean, could she try it? Yeah, but I don't know if that's really gonna work. I mean, it's worth a shot, I guess, because y'all cover is blown. So, I mean, you might as well go all the way with it, I guess. But I would just let it go and take my ass back home. Hey, seriously, before you fuck around and really get hurt. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought, and I will see you all later. Peace.